We're back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. My guest today is Adrian from RISEAttireusa.com. RISEAttireusa.com. I can't wait to hear his story because, probably the silver lining, one of the silver linings, I guess, to what's happened to us over the last 4.5 years is there's kind of been a return to, building your own business, small business. People are starting to realize they need more control over their income and they need to be self-sustaining when it comes to that. Otherwise, we are going to be subjected to whatever our adversaries throw our way, right? And that's what we talk about here on Naturally Inspired all the time, right? This idea of community commerce. Community is fantastic. I love community. It's hugs, it's cookies, it's babysitting for each other. It's all of that things. But all of those things. But what's most important is community commerce. When I'm helping you in the way of exchanging business and you're helping me in the way of exchanging business. And I don't want to do business with any of my adversaries anymore. That's why I'm out here looking to connect to community. And that means people who are like-minded, people that are not going to close their doors, people who are not going to mask up, people who are not going to submit to this cabal that would have us submit to them and enslave us. So, Adrian, I think that you are just a model for that. Please tell us, first of all, how are you doing today, Adrian? And welcome to Naturally Inspired.
Thank you so much for having me, Tammy. I am just loving everything I'm hearing coming out of your mouth, coming out from the commercials that played during your break. It's just, you're speaking my language. Speaking truth very, very boldly.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you're here, and I can't wait to learn more about your story. I know Jason, my husband, has dealt with you. Of course, RISE Attire makes our T-shirts for Naturally Inspired, and we love them. We've had lots of compliments about them and everything, and I know Jason has dealt with you, and he's told me a little bit about your story, but I'm excited to learn about it because everybody kind of has a COVID story. Everyone does. We all went through it in different ways. So please share with us your COVID story.
So COVID was when I really rolled my sleeves up and got to work on RISE Attire. I had been involved heavily in Philadelphia's art and music scene for years. I was a music producer and I was doing DJing and performing at shows. So I was very heavily involved in art scene. You can imagine Philly's art scene is just full of communists, Mm-hmm. And I had to learn how to sort of maneuver around them and find my people and red pill people subtly. And through the work I was doing with another T-shirt company called Shirt with Cash, I sort of learned the ropes because I'm a graphic designer as well. I also do video production and do a number of different things, but it's all sort of prepared me for this. And I pitched a couple ideas to my boss about doing some more red pill, truth-based stuff. And while we were doing like meme shirts, it was just a little too hardcore for him. But I had made close connections with our manufacturer, who manufactures in the United States, and he owns the facility, and he's super based. And him and I were talking, and I basically dreamt up this idea for RISE Attire because I saw that there was a huge need for this lifestyle that we're living in. It truly is a lifestyle at this point. It's not just a philosophy. And that it needed to be represented through the clothes that we were wearing on a cultural level in a way that was professional enough and cool enough to compete with these cabal brands who have had, just been dominating the marketplace for way too long. And just like in music, just like in film, just like in food, they poison everything that they infiltrate and subvert. And, when you look at apparel and streetwear, there's no exception. You've got a bunch of satanic imagery, a bunch of just evil, dark stuff, and kids are wearing it all the time. And I was well qualified to step up in that, and so I built it. I did it from scratch, and it jumped off.
I love it. I love it. How important do you think it is that we're able to express it? Because you're right. The left, what I don't even like to call left right anymore. It's kind of, that evil force that our adversaries that we're up against. It doesn't, they come in all shapes and sizes as far as I'm concerned, left, right, whatever. How important is it that we are able to express ourselves? I guess what role does fashion, like you talked about music and movies. This is a huge part of them being able to kind of brainwash the public, isn't it? How do you feel the role of what you're doing is kind of, pushing back against that?
Well, I think it's really unique and important because if you take a look at our stuff, you see it's more than just like, a cheap shirt with something written on it. Like these are our high quality original graphics, and they go edge to edge, the printing, and it's very premium stuff. So when you see the kind of messaging that's being portrayed through our streetwear on someone in the real world, it takes on a whole new level of seriousness to that message that, wasn't there before. Especially if you're someone who's like hearing about this stuff and you think it's fringe, and then you see it on someone's shirt in such a way, it just becomes that much more real, and you take it that much more seriously. Memes are cheap, but apparel, especially premium apparel, is not. So, and if you see a brand that's behind that message, it's even better. And not only that, it also it moves the Overton window of what becomes socially acceptable. Especially for younger people, they're so like timid, and some people they don't necessarily feel comfortable coming out. At least that's how it's been.
Yeah.
But we need to push that needle forward, and it's a great way to do it. It makes coming out like fun, or just making a statement. It's very anti-establishment because this conservatism and this return to traditional values has really become like the new punk rock. So I think it's totally apropos, and the time is right for it. And not only that, but I'm sorry to be long-winded about this, but the other important thing I want to say about it is that it gives people an amazing opportunity to network, to signal, and recognize one another on the street, where I get that all the time, where people are like, I was wearing my shirt out in public, my RISE shirt, and someone came up to me and was like, I love your shirt. Next thing you know, they're in a 2-hour-long conversation, and they're like new best friends.
I love that. I love that. When we come back, we'll continue on with Adrian from RISEAttireusa.com. Stay tuned. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio.
A few moments later.
100% evil free. I love that. On RISEAttireusa.com. You've got to check out some of these shirts that Adrian has available for purchase on here. They're just great. Stuff that you would never find in a regular store. It's creativity at its finest. So you want to head over to RISEAttireusa.com. Adrian, I want to get into a little bit of your story. I want to get into a couple things. Hopefully we have time. First of all, tell us how you got kicked off of Shopify and why.
Well, I think we were just doing a little too good on Shopify, and our store was in the top 3% of all stores that started at the same time as ours, and our blog was in the top 1% of all blogs on Shopify. Mm-hmm. We were really crushing it. I mean, we came out swinging because we launched with the signature series of Red Pill 78 and Methods, who had built in huge followings, and things just escalated really quickly. And if you look at our stuff, it's not hard to imagine why they had a problem with it. I mean, technically, we didn't violate any of their terms of service. They violated their terms of service by kicking us off and not even providing us with a reason. And it just happened out of nowhere. They didn't give us warning, any chance for recourse. It's just is what it is. So we wear it like a badge of honor.
I do too. You're in good company because I've been kicked off of places too. So
yeah,
yep, it's the
and
way.
To top it off, to add insult to injury, we did a GoFundMe to raise money to rebuild the site and launch off Shopify, and raise a couple $1,000s, and then GoFundMe stole our money.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, they didn't steal it. They returned it to all the donors and just, basically gave us the middle finger. So we didn't let that stop us either. We did a fundraiser on the Foxhole on pill.net. Shout out to those guys. We did a live DJ set and raised all that money again and in one night. And I told myself that if we meet our goal, that I was going to propose to my then girlfriend, who we had moved down to South Carolina together. She's the other part of RISE Attire. It's my wife now. And, we hit the goal in 45 minutes, and I proposed to her in front of everyone.
Oh, my gosh. I love that story. I love that story. We really can take control and create what we want out of our lives. I want to talk to you because you're an artist, because, you are a creator. I want to know what you think, because in hard times, what comes with hard times? Great art. That's what comes out of hard times if we see it in that way, right? If we see it for what it is. Can you talk briefly about what it's done for you in terms of your creativity, these kind of hard times?
Well, I mean, the hard times have fueled this entire operation because of the need for it, But I think an important part of the creativity that comes in what we're doing is our ability to use it for satirical purposes, to make fun of these people, because when you reduce them to the posers that they are, that and you expose the fact that this is all just power projection, and they're only as powerful as we perceive them to be. You can whittle away at that power really quickly, and it's just, they make it easy because it's such a clown show,
Yes.
So it just brings it out of us. It's really like it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
I love that, because you're right. They want us to be fearful. They want to be taken seriously. They want the doom and gloom to overcome us. And that's why I love on your website, when you explained it's dark to light. And that's exactly what you're doing through your art. And I have so much respect for you, Adrian. Thank you so much for being on the Naturally Inspired radio show today. Everyone, visit riseattireusa.com. Support Adrian. He is a part of this community. Thanks for listening. This has been Naturally Inspired Radio. Thanks, Adrian.